ladies, you have a spontaneous gathering of friends. What's on your table? Pasta. Gluten-free?
Okay, so it is gluten-free.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, girl, it's gotta be gluten-free. So anyway, so I love, one of the dishes that I make that I just kind of made it up one day because you know when you have those vegetables in the drawer that are screaming, cook me, cook me.
Yes.
You know, and you think that, you know what, you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, I want all these vegetables. But then you don't realize that you've got to eat them really fast.
Yes.
And so within a week, you're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So one day I just came up with this idea. I'm just gonna throw everything in my vegetable drawer in the skillet, add some chicken, pasta, and throw in some Greek seasoning, and boom, we have come to love it.
Yes.
And so that would be one of the things that I would make.
I love it.
Sounds good.
What about you, Shantrel?
I would make a charcuterie board.
Oh, yeah.
Something easy, but things you enjoy. You could do sweet, savory, crackers, whatever you may have in your fridge. If you have a guest coming over, it's easy to put together and fast.
Oh, yeah, and it's always so colorful.
Yes.
And so many different textures, and almost anything works.
Yes.
I
And if
love
anybody
that.
knows how to do one, it's Shantrel.
Yes, yes.
I would
have-
never bring one if she was going to bring one. Mine would look like a joke.
And now for
Sweet.
me, I would do my grandmother's hot fudge sauce because it only takes a few minutes. It's so much better than what you can get in the store.
Love it.
And you just
Yes.
throw it over some ice cream, toast a few pecans, and
Oh
it's just
my
a quick and easy dessert,
goodness.
and everybody loves it.
You're making me hungry, so you know
Yes.
what? I'm just gonna go get it.
Yes. Yes.
This looks so amazing. Tell us what you're doing.
Okay, right now I'm going to start with making something a little bit different. It's actually going to turn out to be a rose made out of Genoa salami.
Oh, so you're just layering it.
Yes, you just
Kinda-
want to layer it in there.
You want it thin.
Thin, yes, you want it sliced thin. And then you just take your cup, turn it upside down, and you have a beautiful flower.
I can actually put it.
Now that looks fancy.
Now I'm going to continue to add just however I would like color-wise and just some pretty colors in here. And just start filling in spaces.
I always start with the chicken. So I've already had this preheated on a medium to high heat, and I drizzle some olive oil. I'll go this way. There, and hopefully it should be, yeah, I can see it. Ooh, that's nice and hot. So you put your chicken in the pan, nice and hot, and it should take about 5 or 6 minutes. And you want it to be nice and golden brown, but not overcooked. So, all right.
So I'm making some homemade fudge sauce. Got some evaporated milk. And what's nice is you can make this and have it hot and ready. Just keep it in your pot. Your pot will keep it nice and warm for you.
That's nice for company.
Yeah. And then just some sugar and salt. There's some butter in there too. Now my grandmother made it with 3 cups of sugar. That's a little too sweet for me. I like it about 2 cups of sugar is good for me. And unsweetened chocolate.
And the asparagus takes a little longer to cook, so I throw in the asparagus. I don't know about you, as I love the asparagus, but I tend to, I've thrown away way too much asparagus. So this is one of the reasons why I came up with this. And the cool thing about this is you can make this little veggie stir fry on the side for anything. You don't have to combine it with, you know, the pasta. You can make it as a side dish. You can also do this dish instead of with penne pasta. You can do it with rice, and you can do it with potatoes. You could do sauteed potatoes. So it's a fun,
Very versatile.
yeah.
It smells wonderful.
I turned it down a little too much. And this takes about 7-8 minutes or so just to kind of get it cooked down. Gouda, you're Gouda.
All right, so Shantrel, a mishap that you had.
Okay, when Johnny and I were dating, I had made Hamburger Helper, and it was easy to follow.
Back when he had hair?
Yes, when he
Okay,
had
okay,
hair.
got it. All right.
And I thought, I'm gonna make chicken. I'm gonna make something a little bit better. And So I followed the recipe and everything. Well, it got overdone and it way overcooked, and not just a little overcooked. It was so dry it wasn't edible. And I said, how does it taste? And he's like, it's good. It's a little dry, but it's good. And then I took a bite and said, we can't eat this. And that was the one dish that I kind of flopped on.
Oh my goodness. I had a time where I had missionaries over, and I was newly married too. And you know how it is, you make a Italian dinner, lasagna, you got your bread in the oven, but you know, not quite done yet, a few more minutes, and you forget about it. So smoke's pouring out, the smoke alarm goes off, so I open the door, but the worst part is, so we've already got burnt bread, we've already got smoke and everything, but then when I open the door, in comes a moth, and it just right in our main dish and starts flopping around, and I thought, how am I supposed to serve this now? And they're all sitting at the table just watching that moth. Oh, it was terrible. I was embarrassed.
Oh.
Well, I remember once having a bunch of people from church over for Christmas, and and I don't even know, like, we didn't have a cat, but somebody went outside and this cat was at the door and it came in the house. Oh. And of course it was kind of like a squirrel, like, freaking out. And I had a spread of desserts, on a table, and that cat jumped up and jumped like any pie he could get, pumpkin pie, you name it, because it was the holidays. Boom, boom. I mean, and
wow.
Literally just all of the desserts. And so we ended up like cutting out the sections of where you could see the footprints of the cat.
Little paw prints.
But anyways, that was awful.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Now, speaking of desserts, are there any recipes that you ladies, that they're favorites of yours that have been passed down to you?
I would have to say my mom's homemade spaghetti sauce. She puts so much love into it with all the veggies and the meat, and it cooks all day, and that is just one of my favorites.
That sounds delicious.
What's one of your favorites?
Probably a go-to. It's so simple, but it's my mom's inside-out chocolate bundt cake, because it only takes 5 ingredients. Whoa. And you can make it in a flash. Usually it's already in the pantry, all the ingredients are, and it makes the most luscious, just chocolatey cake. You don't even need to frost it because it's a bundt cake pan.
You can put your French sauce.
You can put French sauce on top of it. That would make
some
it
ice
even
cream.
Yes. So it's easy, but it's a winner.
I love it.
What about you?
Good.
One of mine is my great-grandmother. She made this chip dip. And then it passed on to my grandmother, to my mom, and so now I'm using it, and now my daughter's using it, and so it's just like the chip dip. Well, it's like you could put it on a sandwich if you wanted to, like a spread, but it is so good, and it's kind of like a chip dip, but no, like this potato chip dip that is just like.
I've actually had it before
you
at
have.
your house in Tennessee.
Yep, and guess what it has in it?
The secret ingredient? What?
Garlic.
Garlic, ooh.
And cream cheese.
And cream cheese.
Yeah. So it's just
it sounds like a
it's
winner to
yummy.
me. So ladies, speaking of things getting passed down to you, is there something that a woman in your life has passed down to you that kind of either changed your trajectory of how you do things, or just kind of fed in or informed the way you either, function with your family, or how you just something special that they have imparted to you?
I would have to say my mom. She loves to serve. She loves to serve, and just the detail she puts into her food and to her family, and always having such a nice plate. At dinner, she had a daycare of 15 children, and when they would go home, she would have a beautiful meal for us, and she just put so much love into it, and that's probably where I've enjoyed serving people. And
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. What about you, Tracee?
For me, my mom, growing up on the mission field, and I don't even recall every little finite detail of her life, but I know that it was very hectic, and there was, like nonstop entertaining, like your mom, just an influx of just in and out. But the thing that I love that was so impactful to me that I wanted to carry on to my kids was the atmosphere that she brought to the table every single day. And not just, and what I mean the table is the table of our, the kitchen's always like the heart of the home. And every day she brought joy, she brought love, she brought peace, she brought patience, she brought laughter. And it didn't matter how crazy life was. I never knew when they were going through difficulties, because she always brought this atmosphere all the time. And so that was really important for me to want to carry that on to my family and my kids.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, that's awesome.
For me, I think it's my dad's side of the family, my grandmother and my aunts. For them, I feel like every time we went to one of their houses, it was work hard, play hard, and pray hard. And by that I mean, we're always gonna work, we're gonna wash up the dishes, or we're gonna do a project like clean out the garage or something, and we'd all work, but they do it with us. It wasn't you go do it, they do it with us. And then after that, pull up the board games, pull up the card games, let's have a good time. And I'm talking from the youngest to even today, like we just love a good game time, right? And then pray hard. My grandmother, I believe from the time she got saved back in the 60s till she was in the nursing home, she had a weekly Bible study. And sometimes it was just for women, I think, and sometimes it was for, all ages and all, both genders. But I can recall, here's the hot seat, we're pulling out a chair, okay, your turn, you're in it, we're on, everybody gathers around and just prays for you. Plus all the meaningful conversations that were spiritual. Like we talk about everyday things, but my grandmother in particular was very good about having some really meaningful spiritual conversations with me. So all those things really stuck with me and have informed the way that I entertain with people, like considering them being my family. Like when it's time to work, let's work. When it's time to play, man, let's have a great time. But then when it's time to pray, let's not just say that for church. Like the home, the living room right there, let's pray right now.
I love it.
Yes, that's awesome.
It's beautiful.
So this has been a delicious meal. I've loved every bit of it, and this is so gorgeous, I even hate to touch it. But ladies, I don't know, I'm kind of ready for dessert.
Yes.
Me too.
Should we?
Sounds yummy.